Welcome everyone to episode 6 of World Update. I hope you all enjoyed the time-lapse just as much as I actually enjoyed making it this time. Anyways, we are starting out here in the Nether because I want to talk about a future project here. It's not something we're going to accomplish anytime soon, definitely not during this year. And that is, already you can see we do have some beacons in here, and the goal is to have the Nether perimeter fully covered with all the beacon effects at max level. And beyond that, I would also like to have all those effects for most of wherever I travel in the Nether. Now, a lot of stuff is pretty close to base and such, so it actually doesn't take much to do that. Much, I should say. So I have been breaking some bedrock and such, and I have broken enough bedrock for us to make a 10 by 10 beacon pyramid grid in the Nether. This grid will cover a 1000 by 1000 area in full beacon effects, and it will require only 500 beacons. So, if I ever needed an excuse to build a really nice Wither Skeleton farm, that will be it. However, we will not actually be building that Wither Skeleton farm anytime soon here, as there are other projects that take much higher priority, of which I will discuss later. As you saw in the time-lapse, I have once again rebuilt the slime farm. This marks the third iteration of the slime farm, and yeah, my goodness, it has come along quite well. As you can see, I just have the basic structure in place. The plan for this building is, I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I mean, I've kind of been giving it the code name, like the Temple of Slime, but I don't know if I'll actually stick with that. I don't know, it's a little cringy, but the plan with this is to make a sort of very rundown building, and that's where nature has basically taken it back over and such. So obviously I don't have any greenery in here. I just have the core structure of it. I didn't have time to do any of the greenery stuff, and besides, like later on we eventually update to 1.14 with the new blocks and like the new, like, say, bark block and such. That stuff is going to come in great handy in beautifying this and such. And I do have a nice 3D pixel art of a slime that I built using stained glass and concrete powder, and I must say, I love this thing. I think it looks amazing. Like, yeah, it turned out so well indeed. As you saw in the time-lapse, the spawning platform for this farm is built one layer above Y0 bedrock, and that is to give us the best efficiency possible for spawning slimes. This farm is really optimized for 1.13. We are still in 1.12, like 1.13 plus. And the minecart collection systems all exist in their own chunks, so we're not going to have any more minecart duplication issues. So that will be a huge bonus. And yeah, this will be pretty much one of the most efficient 1.13 plus slime farm designs you can build without breaking Y0 bedrock. I considered breaking Y0 bedrock, but it would have been a heck of a lot more effort for something that I honestly do not need. Like, this thing's already overkill. Switching to my 1.13 test world, this right here is the concept for how the new base tower will look. I am going to put on the caveat of that it isn't going to look exactly like this, except for like the main bone block support pillars, and that's because this one was just made quickly using World Ed. I made like 1/4 of it, flipped it, mirrored it, copied, pasted, replaced blocks to denote the different levels and such. But this is the general shape and the sort of look-ish I'm going for. I might actually change some of the looks and such I was originally going to go with, but the general architecture at this point I'm pretty well sold on. Remember when I was saying that there are other projects that take much higher priority? This is it. Not the tower design itself necessarily, but this level right here, level red, or like the top end of, main big level here. This level right here is currently my planned area to deal with everything regarding item management. So item sorting, first and foremost, that is the biggest goal of this year, is for me to have a fully functioning, fully working item sorter built in my world. And also some other things I'd like, you know, of course, potion brewing, a super smelter, and so forth. So those are the projects that take a really high priority because, you know, over the last like 2 years I've been playing in this world thus far, item management has been a very big issue, and I just really need to be able to handle all the items and automatically sort them. That way I'm not spending time sorting them manually. Now when it comes down to the item sorter design, I do have some sorting tech here that I am testing out and considering using. Obviously, when I'm actually going to go to build it, I'm going to build a whole big prototype in creative mode, in a creative world, torture test it, lag test it to make sure the internal server's happy with it, and so forth. Anyways, I'm not going to go into details into like the exact designs I'm considering. Instead, I'm going to give you a high-level overview of what I'm considering. And this right here is, I guess you could almost say, like a block diagram of the planned item sorter. The first stage of the item sorter will of course be an influx buffer. So as items come in, we'll quickly put them into chests for temporary storage and until they can be sorted. So, you know, if I dump several inventories worth of items into the system, I shouldn't have any items despawn. That's the idea. So stage 1 will be the influx buffer. Stage 2 of the item sorter will be the non-stackable items filter. So any items that come in will be evaluated. If they are a stackable item, they will be sent off to be sorted. If they are not, they will be sent down the non-stackable items path. At which point we arrive at stage 2A, which filters out any shulker boxes from the non-stackable items. It is currently planned that all the non-stackable items will just go into a non-stackable item storage, and that I will just manually sort that. But I do got the option of making a non-stackable item sorter addition to this item sorter in the future. I would like to make sure I got room for that addition anyways. But the current plan is to not build it because it's kind of like, I don't think I really need it. It's a little overkill. Stage 2B is the shulker box unloader. So any shulker boxes that come in are unloaded into the system, and the shulker box is put into like a shulker box storage system, which can be used later in the sorting system to put new items into empty shulker boxes and crap. At stage 3, we'll be feeding the items to the high-speed item sorter, which is planned to sort items at 2x hopper speed. Now, one thing about this system is the stackable items that come from the stage 2 of the system are planned to take priority over stage 2B and such. And it makes a lot of sense because a shulker box can hold like up to a chest worth of items, where a loose item literally takes up like a single inventory slot in of itself. And our goal is to make sure that this buffer is as clear as could possibly be. And since it's very easy to source shulker boxes, and like, you know, even a single double chest can store like 57 shulker boxes. So our main goal is to get those loose and stackable items through here as quickly as possible. Stage 4 will be the high-speed item sorter. It is planned to be able to sort up to 96 unique items at 2x hopper speed, and it will put those items directly into shulker boxes. Stage 5 is another buffer, and that buffers the items coming in from Stage 4, so any items that don't get sorted by the high-speed sorter and like the bulk storage of items will get put into the buffer at Stage 5. In addition, I would also like it so that way if for some reason the buffer here at Stage 5 overflowed, that it would actually stop the entire item sorter. That way we don't constantly send through items that just don't get sorted by this and therefore have a bunch of items despawn. That would be pretty bad. So the plan is that Stage 5 will have the power to, if it overfills, basically calls a pipeline saw and halt the rest of the item sorter until it catches up. Stage 6 will be a low speed item sorter, and for this I'm actually going to have like an iCard and a link in the description to an item sorter designed by gnembon MC that is silent, timeable, lag efficient, and both for the client and the internal server. It's perfect for sorting all the miscellaneous items you don't get huge amounts of, since we don't really need, like stuff like pots and diamonds. Do we really need to be able to sort those at 2x hopper speed and have, a really big system that takes up a lot of room? And let's be frank, it's probably not gonna be too good for the internal server performance. Still gotta demo that stuff, make sure it's not gonna be a problem. But anyways, that's the plan for Stage 6. And Stage 7 is going to be a chest array, and for all the items that happen to actually not get sorted into the system. And there you have it, guys. That is the high-level perspective of what kind of item sorter I'm trying to design. Of course, over time, things may change, and things probably will change and look a little bit different. But this is just to give you guys the gist, and honestly, give me sort of the gist of what I'm trying to build and to help me plan for it. So, yeah. If you guys are ever designing complex, multi-stage item sorters, doing something like this might help you visualize, what you need. And it certainly has helped for me. Back in 1.12 in my survival world, you saw during the time lapse that I have broken a bunch of bedrock and stuff on the border of my mushroom island and taiga biome. The reason for that is so that way in the future I can build a passive mob farm here, and since those benefit from being built as low in the world as possible, I wanted to get the bedrock breaking out of the way before updating to 1.14. So yeah, now I just need to get up here without killing myself with kinetic energy. Taking a bit of a detour to my villager breeder outside my spawn chunks. I wanted to stop by here because I have been doing some trading on and off, and I have found a very, very special villager right here. If we go all the way to his second to last trade, you can see he has a book trade for 14 emeralds. Yep, mending. I was freaking out when I found this. And I traded a whole bunch with him. I got like 6 shulker boxes of mending books. A bit unfortunate that I decided to do that because now it's come to light just how broken trading is in 1.14, and I could literally just get a mending trade for like 1 emerald there. So yeah, in retrospective, probably shouldn't have done so much trading with him, but still, I'm very happy with it. Now I got basically unlimited mending books nowadays, so that's great. Something I wanted to bring mention to was something that I brought up a few episodes ago about how I found a dual skeleton spawner in the area in my world, and then like eventually the plans were to build a farm. At this point, I've basically canceled those plans because I'm at a point in the game where I have the ability to build like a general mob farm that's much more powerful and can put out much more in terms of bones than these 2 spawners ever could. So yeah, it kind of sucks because it's a great opportunity to build a nice farm and such, but it's I can easily build something that outclasses this nowadays. So yeah, rip dual auxiliary spawner into the farm. That's not gonna happen anymore. My plan for the next episode is for it to be the update to 1.14 episode. All I'm waiting on at this point is 1.14.2 ReplayMod and Optifine. So yeah, beyond that, I'm hoping to get the update episode out before July 7th, because in case you've been living under a rock and don't know, on that day, AMD will be launching their new 3rd gen Ryzen processors, and I am planning on end up doing a major PC upgrade a couple of weeks after they release those new chips. So while I'm doing that, I can't really work on new content since I'll be tied up into working on building a new computer. So that'll be good. This one is getting a little long in the tooth at 3770K right there, so it'll be really nice to have something that I can definitely chew through video and a lot quicker, so that'll be great. I don't know about you guys, but I myself am really looking forward to those new AMD processors, especially for video editing. Oh, that is going to be really, really nice. Anyways, that is all I got for you for this episode. Until next time, hopefully I'll see you a little sooner than I did this time when it comes to World Update. So, yeah. See you all guys later. Bye.